Again, the instructions of the class is keep your notebook and pen handy with you so that you can note all these things, all these points, whichever I am gonna teach here. Okay, so let's get started. We are now today talking about hematopoiesis. It is the process by which the whole blood is formed. Hematopoiesis. Generally, this word means blood, and the poiesis means its formation. Okay, so let's get into the topic. So hematopoiesis is production, development, and differentiation and maturation. The production, development, differentiation, and maturation of blood cells. Okay, so this is very clear that hematopoiesis consists of 4 events, that is production and development, differentiation and maturation. We will talk about all 4 of them step by step in coming slides. So let's first understand the site of poiesis, where it happens actually. Where the RBC production, where the leukocyte production, where the thrombocyte production happens, where it happens actually. So let's discuss about it. It happens in 5 phases. Okay, so less than 2 month fetus, it is mesoblastic phase. It happens in yolk sac. The blood is formed in yolk sac. When the fetus is less than 2 months of age, the blood is formed in yolk sac, which is also called mesoblastic phase. So the next one is, second is 2 to 7 months. 2 to 7 months fetus. Okay, so here the blood actually forms in hepatic. The phase is called hepatic, and the site of formation is liver and spleen. Liver has hepatocyte cells. So whatever happens inside the liver, it's actually called the hepatic. So it is called hepatic phase. 2 to 7 months infant, 2 to 7 months fetus have the production of blood actually in liver and spleen as well. So after 3 months, we see the blood is formed in myeloid, that is bone marrow. Okay, so after that, full term infant, where the when it becomes full term infant, it is happening in bone marrow. Again, in children and adults, in these 3 phases, the blood is formed in bone marrow. So the hematopoiesis has 3 main parts to it, related with it, which is erythropoiesis, thrombopoiesis and leukopoiesis. Now let's get into it one by one. Erythropoiesis, what is it? It is erythro means RBCs, thrombo means platelets, and the leuko means okay, the formation. Now we got the point that the erythropoiesis, poiesis means production, so production of RBCs, then the production of platelets, then the production of leukopoiesis. We will talk about each of them step by step in coming slides. So let's get first into the erythropoiesis part in the next slide. We are on the next slide that we are now going to discuss. So I'm very sorry guys, students, I forgot to actually turn on the mic, so sorry for the background noise and the AC noise, etc. So we are on the next slide. Here we are talking about hematopoiesis, erythropoiesis, thrombopoiesis and leukopoiesis. Okay, I will explain it again little. Erythropoiesis production of RBC, thrombopoiesis, production of platelets, leukopoiesis is a process of production of WBCs. Okay, so this was the topic of the previous slide, and we are now on the erythropoiesis part, which is the we are discussing as a first part of hematopoiesis. Okay, so erythropoiesis, erythro means RBC and poiesis means production, which we already discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so now we will discuss about the different stages through which the stem cells go and for the final mature erythrocyte production. Okay, so now we will talk about stage 1, the pro-erythroblast stage. It is 15 to 20 millimeters. So when the erythrocyte matures, like the stem cells matures towards erythrocyte, the size of the cell is decreasing continuously. You can see here the size is 15 millimeter. Here the size is smaller and smaller. The size is becoming smaller and smaller. Okay, then what are we observing here is the stem cell is generally of this size, and the RBC must be smaller in size to just go through the blood vessels, tiny capillaries swiftly by molding the shape of the RBC, so it must be smaller in size. Okay, so the stem cell mature to become an RBC. And it decreased its size to just go swiftly through all the capillaries, which are very tiny in diameter. So we are going to talk about all these 6 stages. Stage 1, pro-erythroblast stage, 15 to 20 millimeter stage, derived from the stem cells. Okay, इससे पहले just before it there was a stem cell of a bone marrow. There was a stem cell sitting in a bone marrow which decided abruptly one day that I want to become an RBC. Okay, so it started the process and became basophilic normoblast. Okay, it became the basophilic normoblast, 13 to 70 millimeter in size. It is called early normoblast. Okay, so in stage 3, polychromatic normoblast, polychromatic cytoplasm is seen. What do you mean by polychromatic now here? Polychromatic is simply of the color different than the normal colors. Okay, polychromatic means multiple colors. Poly means multi and chromic means color. Okay, so multiple colors are seen now in the cytoplasm due to small amount of hemoglobin present in the cytoplasm. Okay, so 11 to 15 millimeters in size, the size is decreasing when the stem cells is becoming to mature into the mature erythrocyte. Okay, so the polychromic cytoplasm is seen in stage 3rd, which is also called polychromic normoblast. Okay, so it is also called the intermediate normoblast. Early normoblast, intermediate normoblast. Okay, then the fourth stage is orthochromic normoblast. Is again the size has been decreased. You can see here. So the color appears pink due to presence of good amount of hemoglobin in this stage, because little hemoglobin is already present there in the polychromic normoblast stage. So now the hemoglobin content is present in good amount, so it has been turned into pink color. Okay, so next stage is stage 5, reticulocyte, 7.5 to 10 millimeter in size. It is called reticulocyte. So one point we have to keep attention on is that stage 5 and stage 6 do not have nucleus. Nucleus is absent. Nucleus is absent. So stage 5 and stage 6, nucleus is absent. Reticulocyte 7.5 to 10 millimeter, HB is present. Little RNA is present in cytoplasm. Mature, then stage 6, mature erythrocyte, 6 to 8 millimeter, a 120 to 20 days of lifespan it has of mature RBC. So here we have discussed briefly the process of erythropoiesis. One thing I'm just curious about is that I will start a different series in which we will discuss each process. This is introduction, just an introduction. Okay, this is not the elaborate part, but I will make the separate video for the elaborate part, which will consist each stage in very detail, how the signals have been triggered that the proerythroblast became the basophilic normoblast, which triggered it to become the next one. Okay, which it triggered a stem cell to become an erythrocyte and not the other cell. Okay, so we will discuss all of that in a detail in a other video. Okay, so this is just an introduction, so briefly just note it down and keep handy with you. Now we are headed towards the next part, which is called the thrombopoiesis part. Okay, the thrombopoiesis, thrombo means platelets and poiesis means production of the platelets developed from the giant cell of the megakaryocyte. Giants means big. Okay, so ignore my handwriting if it's not good. So it means big. Okay, so one megakaryocyte can raise 100 platelets. Okay, 7 to 10 days of lifespan of platelets. Platelets are very short lived because they are the fragments of megakaryocyte. One megakaryocyte can make up to 100 platelets. Okay, so it is produced more frequently and it has just a fragments, and the lifespan of the lifespan of platelets are just 7 to 10 days. Now we are on the next one, that is leukopoiesis, production of leukocytes, those are WBCs. And leukopoiesis can be seen in three parts. Okay, production of granulocyte, production of lymphocyte, production of monocyte. Now pay attention to the granulocytes. Granulocytes are of three types: neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. Neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils, those have granules in mature form. Okay, when they are mature, they have granules in their cytoplasm. Okay, so now we are gonna talk about first production of granulocytes. In the granulocytes we are specifically targeting neutrophils production in this slide. Okay, so production of granulocytes, neutrophils, it has 6 stages: myeloblast, promyelocyte, myelocyte, metamyelocyte, band form is also called stab form and non-segmented. And the 6th part is mature neutrophils, 10 to 14 millimeter size and have granules. Okay, so let's discuss it step by step. So the first step of formation of neutrophil is myeloblast. Myeloblast is 15 to 20 mm in size. Same here as the case of RBCs. When it gets mature, then the size of the cell decreases. 10 to 14 millimeters is the size of mature, and the immature is way bigger than the mature. Okay, so myeloblast has, the main point here is it has these bodies, our bodies. Okay, so 2 to 5 nucleoli it has. Promyeloblast, red cytoplasm, it has red cytoplasm, non-specific granules, less defined nucleoli. Myelocyte, it has many purple, red, blue granules, and nucleoli is absent. Nucleoli is absent here. Metamyelocyte, some granules, nucleus, some granules are seen. Nucleus is half moon shaped or kidney shaped. Okay, so band form is also called stab form and non-segmented form. It is kidney shaped nucleus. It has kidney shaped nucleus. Mature neutrophils have 10 to 14 millimeter in size, are 10 to 14 millimeter in size, and have granules. Okay, so now we are gonna discuss about the eosinophil part. Now we are on the next one, which is production of granulocyte, eosinophils and basophils. Okay, so eosinophils and basophils, these are also developed similarly as the neutrophil is developed earlier on this slide. Okay, so now the eosinophilic myeloblast and myelocyte and mature eosinophil is the trajectory from where it passes through. So the next one is basophilic myeloblast, myelocyte and mature basophil. This is also the trajectory of basophil for the maturation, which is similar to the neutrophils. These three of them have likely similar production stages. Okay, so little bit difference is seen in three of them, but almost the major steps are same. Okay, so now we are gonna discuss about lymphocyte. This is bit important, so pay attention to this. We are on the next part. So the production of lymphocyte. Produced in bone marrow and lymph nodes. Actually, lymph nodes are the main site where the lymphocyte lives. Okay, so this the production of lymphocyte is occurred in 3 stages. Which are those stages? Let's get deep into it. First, second and third. First stage is lymphoblast, second is prolymphocyte, and third is lymphocyte. And the lymphoblast, the blast cell have large nucleus which almost fills the cytoplasm. Okay, the promyelocyte is little smaller than the previous. The lymphocyte is the mature lymphocyte, which is mature totally and which is now which can now perform the functions of the lymphocyte. Okay, so now we are heading towards the production of monocytes. The lymphocyte is like the main component of the whole, and in the granulocyte, neutrophil is the main component. Okay, so you must be aware of how the neutrophils are produced, and you must be aware of the lymphocytic production. Okay, also the monocyte production is not very important, so we can discuss here briefly that monocyte is developed in few stages, that are monoblast, promonocyte and the monocyte. So the production of the monocyte is occurring in many steps, but here we are only discussing it briefly in few steps. It can be monoblast then converts to promonocyte, and the promonocyte is then converted to monocyte. So this is the trajectory of production of monocyte from the stem cells. Okay, at last we will discuss the major important point, that is the lifespan, that is about the lifespan of the cell. So how many days a cell lives depend upon actually its work. So what kind of work it is performing, it is very important when we are looking at the lifespan of the cells. Okay, So RBC lives around 120 plus minus 20 days. It can be plus or it can be minus 20 days. Exactly 120 days is not the lifespan of RBC. It can be less than 120 days, it can be little more than 120 days, depending upon the proteins and the condition of the cell membrane of the RBC, what kind of condition it is going through. Okay, so the platelet has 7 to 10 days of the lifespan, and the WBCs of in WBCs granulocyte, which is neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil, they have 4 to 8 hours of lifespan. So if we see raised neutrophils, eosinophils or basophils in the blood film, so we can easily assume that they can easily go down within hours or within days. Okay, so that are not permanently raised. Okay, they are temporary. So the monocytes are 10 to 12 hours. Monocytes have 10 to 12 hours of lifespan. The lymphocytes have hours to years. Lymphocytes can live a few hours to few years even. Okay, so the lymphocyte is bit unique, so keep it in mind. Okay, so this is for this video, guys. Please, if you appreciate, then please you can like and subscribe to my channel, and then here Saurabh Jha signing off for this video. Thank you.